to time, talent comes along that has no equal. Talent truly on loan from you-know-who. Talent that makes you grateful you're alive. Of course, this is not one of those times.
It's The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle, two veteran broadcasters who love to hear themselves talk and are somehow able to tolerate each other. Let's see if you can tolerate them as well. Here's Rob and Bob.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bob.
And I'm Rob, and this is The Lounge Show. And sorry we weren't here last week at 9 o'clock Eastern.
And 6 p.m. Pacific. Are you going to play a little dealio?
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
That's right. We're just tempting the feds. We're saying, come and get us, music feds. We're going to play that clip until we get a cease and desist. That'd be so cool. The Lounge get a cease and desist. Like
another one?
That would mean that someone other than the Hamaga family is watching.
Well, no, the Osborne clan has a tendency to visit often.
Ozzy, Harriet.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy the other day. He brought that up. We were talking to a client at work, and he brought up Ozzy and Harriet. And I went, oh, my gosh, I don't remember Ozzy and Harriet.
Right. The people who are going to get that reference are dying off quickly. Yeah.
And so he said, he goes, and you know, what's weird about that is Ozzy never had a job. Did you ever notice he never had a job? And, of course, I'm nodding because it's on a Teams meeting. It's a client. And you bet. Yeah. And then I decided to follow up with, and Mike Brady was an architect, and there was only one bathroom in the house, and Alice slept in the laundry room, and that did a flyby on him. He didn't get it. It was like a wet book. Oh, it was awful. Oh, it was very, but my friend Allie, who was with me, she did a morning show laugh and kind of got me out of the pickle. Because I thought Mike Brady, it's an old bit. It
is an old bit. It's an old bit.
It is an old bit.
I've heard you say it numerous times. Mike Brady was an architect. What bathroom? They slept together.
And Alice slept in the laundry room. But Alice actually dated Sam the Butcher. I think that Hazel went bowling with the girls. I always do that one too. That Hazel went bowling.
Well, if you didn't get the other one, you better not try that one.
No, I didn't at all.
What girls?
What are you talking about? What's wrong with bowling? Exactly. So the reason we weren't here last week, boys and girls, is because at 9 o'clock Eastern and 6 o'clock Pacific, your normal time for the Lounge Show, when we open the door to the lounge, is Bob was in New York.
That's right.
Traveling.
That's right, because you know how I love big cities and the hustle and bustle, the smell of urine every block.
Driving in it too. Like one of his passions is to drive in big city trucks.
Well, I didn't drive. We just, we Ubered, and we did this. We took this subway a lot. I mean, there was a lot of comfort zone stretching because it's been a long time since I've been in any kind of city like that. It's been a while longer since a long time since Chicago. I hadn't been in New York since 1985, which I probably said when we first brought this up, and it was a much, much different experience. We were in a great location, very close, like walkable to Times Square, walkable to Central Park. So you did a lot of walking. Did a lot of walking, and
shoe leather. You wore down some shoe leather.
We sure did, Rob. I didn't. I would have to just say that we did. It'd be easier. We could walk to a grocery store. We were across the street, I was telling you earlier, from a sort of historically significant, bagel shop called Essa Bagel, and lines wrapped around the corner on the weekends, and we went in there, and I told you they had all the Seinfeld fixins, the black and white cookie and the chocolate and cinnamon babka from that reference, for those who get that. Try that one at your team's meeting. Say a lesser babka? I think not. See how that guy takes it.
He didn't get the Mike Brady.
That's a real jerk store situation you got there.
It is. Yeah, I couldn't do that with him. I don't think any of that. I don't think any of that would have flied. Flid. It would have flown.
Flown. I don't think that would have flown.
It wouldn't have flown. I mean, Mike Brady doesn't fly with this guy. How am I going to possibly go into the bagel shop from the Seinfeld show?
Oh no, that's pie country.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. I didn't have a bagel. I didn't have a bagel drop. I only had a pie drop.
Oh no, that's pie country. Yeah. They do a lot of baking up there.
Yeah, they sell them by the side of the road. Blueberry, blackberry.
Blackberry, boysenberry.
So in New York, we
Did they have peach flavored bagels there?
look, their bagel selection at the place that we went to another place called Liberty Bagels, which was known for its rainbow bagels.
Okay.
And the cream cheese, so that's the thing. I mean, they got 8 gazillion. It's like going into Baskin Robbins for bagels, like so many different flavors of cream cheese. And the cream cheese is way like softer than what you scoop out of a tub from your local grocer.
From your local grocer.
It's real. It's very, very soft and like almost like frosting. I don't know, but it was more.
I would imagine it's whipped to just the perfection.
Yes, it is whipped to this glossy, wonderful thing.
But
it's a little too much for me.
Too much what? Too much.
Too much of every. It's just like they slather on so much. It's just like you take a bite and it just squishes out the side and it's on your face and you're in the middle of Central Park. I was actually at Central Park eating that bagel, and it was just dripping on the ground.
So it was almost so much topping that you forget that bagel is the big.
Well, they made it like a sandwich, right? So it wasn't like, and then they'd cut that in half. So you take out the gigantic half, and you take a bite, and you get it. It's a chewy, and it's the crunchy on the outside, so it just squishes. And it's physics, my friend. It's physics, and it just.
But it's a New York bagel, so that's pretty cool. And did you see did you do the sites, the regular sites, the touristy sites? Did you do the thing?
Not too
Times
many.
Square or
yes, we walked. We didn't actually go. So Amber and Tracy had a different experience after I left. They did more Times Square shopping around. They went to Macy's and that whole thing, which they were waiting for me to leave to do that because obviously I'm not going to want to do that, right? So we walked. A lot of Central Park was one thing, but we didn't do. Oh, and we took we rode the Staten Island ferry. So that's like a free way to see the Statue of Liberty because, the tickets were like $25 to go. And honestly, we don't care about the tour and all that. It's like, and Amber. So you got to remember also, Amber's 14. So it's the teenage attention span. It's the things that the teenager's going to be interested in, right? And if she's not interested in it, forget it. It's like... Yeah. So like I said, we got a certain amount into Central Park, but she had not worn socks with her shoes, and she was getting a blister. So we barely scratched the surface of Central Park before we had to go home. So it's that kind of thing, It's like,
that happened. See, it's funny you mentioned that. That happened to my kids. We went to Universal.
Dina, hi. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Dina. Oh, Dina's here. Yeah, big wave. And Jason, of course, is here, and I believe Amy's here. I think I saw something from Amy. Anyway, we went to Universal.
Yes.
And the kids had these outfits that were so cool for the time. But boy, did they color coordinate, and they got and they wore these Vans. They were wearing Van canvas sneakers that matched the whole ensemble, and they looked terrific. But I kept saying, and they kept making fun of Dad. Oh, you can see your socks. You've got those 3/4 socks. You look like an old man. You got Dad socks on. Okay, whatever. We're going to walk a lot today. And sure enough, the rains came just enough to get that canvas wet. And before you know it, I'm buying $15 box of Band-Aids at one of those stores.
Yes.
Because, Band-Aids. And then we had to get them socks. So they had Thing 1 and Thing 2 socks that they wore the remainder of the day. Those, I think, were... 20 a pair or something ridiculous Universal prices. But yes, so I can identify with the teenager, no sock. But it looks good. I bet you Amber looked good with the no sock look.
Oh yeah, everybody always looked great,
But it's not practical.
Look, I don't want to overstate. She was great. I mean, given our situation. No, Rob.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm just saying.
I know you're not.
I know I'm not.
Then what?
And
this is a conversation between this is A and B conversation. The audience can see their way to the comments section, where if you comment in the next 30 seconds, anything at all, the more abstract, the better. Your name, will go into the hopper. That's right.
And what can they win, Bob? If when we draw a lucky winner like this Illinois man who won $1 billion+ yesterday.
I missed that
in the Mega Millions, $1 billion+. It's a big lottery ticket. But it's not as fun as winning the Lounge Around the House game.
Right.
If your name...
Can't put a price on that.
No, you can't. And you also can't wrap it any more beautifully than we do at the shop when we bring you the Lounge Around the House game adorned or encased in a burnt orange corduroy Yeah, and it's just beautiful. Who wants? Oh, Jason just wants the hopper.
No,
Just
you can't
send it
have
to
the
him.
hopper. Did you
No,
do you
you
remember
can't
the
have the
pictures
hopper.
last week? It's huge.
It's monstrous.
There's no way you can have the hopper.
Right, it's like a gun safe. You bring it into the house. Bob and Tracy brought it into the house, but it's just staying there. When they sell the house, the hopper goes with it because it's just such a pain to move. The hopper's big.
Amy's still waiting for her prize from weeks ago. I can't remember what the prize was, but if it was the game, you're going to have to wait like everybody else. You know.
Yeah.
It's not like it's meticulous. Did we mention that it's being meticulously designed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what? No, what's being meticulously designed?
The whole game.
Oh yes, it is. We've got a team, like Imagineers, like the Disney Imagineers, except they're the lounge. Oh, crumb! That could have been good, but I just couldn't come up with it.
The Loungineers.
Loungineers. Bad last name. I'm Bob Loungineers.
I don't have a problem with
Loungineers. You know what? Loungineers could be what you wear at like Disney. You wear the Loungineers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You lounge around.
They don't sound comfortable, to be quite honest.
No, they
with you.
don't.
They're riding up in my crotch just thinking about them.
You know, that just made
the
me
Loungineers
think
are ill-fitting. The earlier designs. No,
Right.
and we need to change the material. It's too chafing.
Yeah, they're good for a selfie, but they're not good to go on rides with.
Oh my God,
like
no!
You go to a park and your kids are little and they go, I want. You know, you get one thing, and I highly recommend that you get it on the way out of the park.
Like, I want to wear my Loungineers at the park. I promise you don't. You do not want it. Mom, I swear, if you complain, I'm not gonna. Right. I won't complain. Cut to 7 minutes later. Mom, the Loungineers are in my groin.
Can we put them in a locker? Yeah, and the locker's like $5. No, you wanted them.
We sold your pants to be able to afford those.
The Loungineers are going to stay on you, and you're going to love it. You're going to be happy with those.
I hate Rob and Bob, and now they got to go to one of the other lounge-themed rides.
Right.
Now, that I got to know what it might be.
I have no idea, but again, oh look,
there you go. One of the rides is a simulation of a boat on Lake Geneva because we visit them every week, and we can even have a winter version of the thing where there's cars. I don't know what, but yeah. So that's live.
Ice boats, that is live, and the camera angle is different than it has been for many months.
Oh,
you can't see my old pier anymore, and you can't see the Abbey Harbor. The boats in the Abbey Harbor are not in this shot anymore. I think a bird hit it or something, and then someone went up there and just monkeyed with it and tried to get it to the old setting, and now we've got kind of an altered view.
I see.
Because
well, it's still...
Oh, no, it's a gorgeous shot. And you're looking at that boat that cost more than my house, just trickling down the way there.
Right.
And that's Rainbow Point right there. That's Rainbow Point. Rainbow Point's right there. Right, that little point. I'm pointing at how stupid. I wonder if I'm pointing at a screen like people can see that. But anyway, yeah. But that's what is that there? It's like 8:15 at night. Folks are going out bar hopping via their around the lake via their boat, which Bob has done with.
So I think also at the theme park there'll have to be like a Chuck's, like. There'll be the whole Lake Geneva thing. Oh, and there's one of the attractions is dropping phones and video cameras into the lake. Like it's the fall off the dock ride.
Well, it could be that, or it could also be like a crane attraction where you try to run the crane down into the lake and pull up the cell phone or the video camera. And if you do, you win.
Okay. Well, I like that maybe when you're leaving the ride. It's in the little gift shop area. Now reenacted in another way. Right. Yeah. So I like that.
We could show video or something, and it could even be part of the ride, the fall in, with that misty splash as you're on the roller coaster. And then when you're done, you go through the gift shop, and then you have a shot at grabbing a cell phone or a camcorder of sorts with the claw. Right.
There's a little simulated drive to McHenry, Illinois.
Yes.
Now, none of this really has to do with the lounge in particular. That's just sort of a side attraction. The lounge-related rides would have been so different back in the day. Back in the
the day.
drinking days, I think we would have a completely different set of rides.
We
Because
would indeed.
our tagline used to be "Have another cocktail." So I mean,
Yes,
it was
That
heavily.
was our positioning.
There was a lot. There was a lot of alcohol focus. So
all alcohol focused. That's why it was a lounge.
So I think
the cocktails.
Maybe there's like, you know how at Six Flags they used to have the Chevy show. Do you remember the Chevy show? It was kind of like early VR type or IMAX type experience. You'd go into this dome and it was sort of
Six Flags?
Yeah, Six Flags over Georgia. Oh, well, that's right. You came from another place, but I grew up at Atlanta, and it was the Chevy show was this dome sort of projection thing, so it felt like you were really there. And where was I going with that? Who the hell knows?
Wow, you just went off the rails all on your own.
I think
just sat back and watched.
So Tracy. That can't be right. She's
got
to be on.
So Sammy says I'm much better. I can finally eat again. And we didn't talk about that, but last week Samantha got her wisdom teeth.
Oh yeah, well we did. We teased it.
Yeah, we did tease it. Yeah, because I had made the soup that day, and so I made that chicken soup and I brought it out there on Thursday when she had her surgery, and then I saved some for myself. I froze it.
You old dog.
And, I did the old method where I've told you that I put it in the freezer bag and lay it on a sheet pan, put it in the freezer, and then it freezes like a book. And I said, I'll just tuck that away. 6 months from now, I'll pull out some fresh chicken soup. And no, she went through the first round so much and was eating. I had to send my reserve stash to Sam. But see, he's apparently doing better. He's up and around, and it didn't whoop her. I mean, a couple of days of discomfort, but yeah, because that can be tricky. What we were told, if you're an adult, that it's much more severe than when you're in your teens.
Yeah, I was telling you that when it happened, when I got mine done, which was since I've been in Vegas, it just wouldn't stop bleeding for days. Like it was just like, when will this stop bleeding? So.
And you're doing the Marlon Brando thing again. I like that. The Godfather with the cat on your lap, and then you say that you'll go murder someone or whatever.
She just walked up from God knows where.
I forget that cat's name. I'm serious. This is not a bit. I forget.
Lucy? Yes.
Lucy.
I love Lucy. You can remember.
Oh, I've got a picture. I can show you a picture. I'll just do that here. Let's see. Share. I just think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty fun.
Hold on, let me focus it on you. Shine bright like a diamond, Rihanna. Diamonds don't shine, idiot. They reflect. Albert Hyatt style. Oh, Albert. You're so funny.
No, you didn't need to do the goofy laugh track thing. I just thought
nobody needs to, but
nobody needs to. We just did.
Here, I got a picture too.
Well, there you go.
Just
that's the Mona Lisa.
A little
got
tit
some
for tat.
Implants. Yes, she got veneers. What would Mona Lisa look like if she had veneers from ABC Dental?
Now we can do that with today's technology.
Anyway, I thought about that though the other day. Getting back to the lounge show was all about drinking. All of our. That's so odd. It's just odd. But I'm not. The rules are, boys and girls at home, that I'm not supposed to react when Bob pushes all his little.
It's not buttons. A rule. It's more of a challenge. You're allowed to do whatever you want. We don't have any rules here.
No, we have no stinking rules. But I just. But that one actually, the color of the fake cat, the CG cat, is very similar to Lucy's.
Yes, I know. That's why I went ahead and chose to do this ridiculous thing because, and then if you get Lucy looking up there the right way, it's like she's saying, "Hey, look, there's a cat on your head." Like she's checking it out.
Right. Yeah, that reminds me of the joke that's in the movie My Favorite Year. Did you ever see a movie?
I never saw it. That's Peter O'Toole, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I never did see it.
And I just watched it again the other day. It's a cute little movie, and it's way before Nora Ephron. I mean, it had a Nora Ephron feel to it before the Harry Sally, You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle era of her.
Is that the one where he's like a drunk?
Yeah, Peter O'Toole is a massive drunk. He has a tearaway drunk suit and everything. It's pretty funny. And it's 1950s television. It's gonna be live TV. And he's a big swashbuckling movie star.
And there's a younger guy who tried to kind of had to sort of manage him, right? And was sort of frustrated. Yes, okay. Maybe I did see it.
That all can't be from the trailer. But anyway, he tells a joke to he's dating this girl, the young kid who has to babysit Peter O'Toole, and he's telling her a joke. And she says, "I can't tell a joke." And he tells a joke about a duck being on a guy's head, and he goes into the psychiatrist's office. And so that's what that reminded me of, because you have a cat on your head. So Bob Doyle walks into a psychiatrist's office with a cat on his head, and the doctor says, "What's the problem?" And the cat says, "Get this guy out of my ass." That's the joke.
Yes.
Okay, and so that's reminded me of that when you got that cat on your head there, to take that cat and that
whatever. Joke is like the first time I heard it, and it was however it was structured. I laughed, and then when I tried to tell it, I'm just not a very good. I somehow screwed that joke up, or when I said it, it just didn't occur as funny. And I never tried it again.
I had a buddy of mine, Vito. We had him on the show before. He's been in the lounge. He's been a lounge guest.
He's an alum.
And Vito, and I saw Vito the other day. I think you and I discussed this this afternoon, and he was just going on and on about how that I can tell stories like that. And it reminded me of my dad, because you and I will laugh at that when my dad used to say, well, you can't tell.
Right.
Or the guy was
I can't do it, but you can make it funny.
Right. My dad always used to say it's just a crappy joke. It doesn't matter who tells it. It's just a bad. But speaking of jokes, the guy I was talking to you about that I did a flyby with Mike Brady, right? Just a flyby with him. Then he looked at Allie and I and says, "Now, when I get into Atlanta next time, I'm going to tell you guys, I only know one joke." He says, "But it's a really good joke."
Oh boy.
And he says, "But I'm not going to tell it to you now. I'm going to wait till I get to Atlanta. But I only know one joke, and it's 7 minutes long."
No.
And I thought, yeah, see, look at your face. And that's what I thought. I go, you only have one joke, one story, and it's 7 minutes. The odds of that being a good joke to me, Bob, are slim.
And that is a journey to ask people to take.
It is. And,
all right, Jim Sly in the house.
Oh, do we have Jim Sly now?
Yes,
look
and
at
he's
that.
asking you to tell the Timbuktu joke, which I don't know what that is right offhand.
I do, but I can't tell it. It's so complex. And Jim's
right. It takes 7 minutes. Right.
No, but it's about the two Irish poets who are having a battle back and forth with poetry. And then the judge says, "Okay, since you're both so great, here's the challenge. You both have to do an original poem with the word Timbuktu in it, And then you have to recite the first one's poem with and there was the jewel, the Sahara deserts and the sands, and it all rhymes. And then at the other guy, he goes, and there was the jewel, she be Timbuktu, and it all rhymes. See, that's why I can't tell. And then the second one tells his, and the two guys go camping, and it's two guys, and one was named Tim, and they were maidens, and I buck one and Tim buck two. That's how the joke ends. That's the payoff. And it's a wonderful story if you can tell these really complex poems. Like, you have to memorize them. It's not like,
Right. That doesn't. That's too much work to elicit a laugh that if you tell a good get a good 5-second joke.
And Sammy says there, tell a joke, tell the blind joke, which I do like that joke.
All right. Well, no. Well,
the two guys are walking their dogs. It's a hot day, like you probably had in Vegas today, or like I've been having in Atlanta. Summer.
Way to make it relatable.
Yes. Well, that's what storytellers do. And,
absolutely.
And they pass by a tavern. They pass by a lounge. And the one guy looks in and says, "I'm going to go and get a beer because it's so hot." And he goes, "They're not going to let you in with your dog." And he goes, "Watch this." And he puts on his sunglasses. He goes in with the dog. He says, "Give me a beer." The bartender says, "I can't serve you with that animal in here." He goes, "This is not an animal. This is my seeing eye dog."
Right. Okay.
And so his buddy's watching through the window, and he says, "I'm going to do the same thing." And he goes in, sunglasses on, says, "Give me a beer." He says, "I can't give you a beer. You've got that animal here." And he says, "This isn't an animal. This is my seeing eye dog." And the bartender says, "They gave you a Chihuahua as a seeing eye dog." And then he says, "They gave me a Chihuahua as a seeing eye."
Yes.
And that's a very good story.
Yes. That is, and yes, that I know that one. I've told it a million times. But when you say
and how do you do
the
it?
blind joke, you know that one, don't you? Oh, the one that there's a scenario where a blind guy or a blind girl, whatever.
Right.
So Mark is asking the significance of the cat on the head, and I just think it's obvious. I have a cat in my arms who is orange, and I have this ability to make, so.
That's like the woman who's taking a shower, and there's a knock at the door, and she goes, "Who is it?" And he goes, "Blind man." And so then she doesn't put a towel on or anything. She just answers the door, and he goes, "Where do you want the blinds?" At least we have two and there's Bob as Kojak, boys and girls.
I'm sticking with this one for the rest of the show.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
And I still think I want you to do this. Just it's free. Go download Snap Camera just one time. run your camera through it. Use that as the source for this thing, and you too. We can just do the bald version.
So I have a question for you. This dawned on me the other day, okay? And so here, just let me pose this to you, and I'm not going to go. When I was a kid, and even as a young adult, and you drive, especially in the country, and then when you got to your destination, your windshield was just peppered with dead bugs.
Yes.
You know, where are they? When's the last time you drove anywhere and you had a smattering of dead bugs on your windshield? Like, where did the bugs go? This is something I wrote this down I'm going to ask Bob, and maybe he has driven and gotten smattered. I mean, they used to be thick, like, especially if you're up in upstate Wisconsin or out in the woods or what, lots of bugs on your windshield.
Well, the setup is that I'm driving anywhere.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
And I rarely drive. I am doing the airport pickup tonight, though. They get in.
Yes, you are.
They land at 11:21. It's like, I'm usually deep in REM sleep.
From your house?
Like,
how long is?
Like, I'm gonna say 17 minutes. It's short.
Oh, so it's a quick jump.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where your new house. I only know I have reference from the old place where you used to live.
But you're gonna find out in October, aren't you, ladies and gentlemen? Why would I say "aren't you," ladies and gentlemen? Because this is a little pre-announcement. We're gonna start promoting it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is there. Is there a Saturday that falls in there? There's got to be, right?
No, I'm there on. I fly to see Steven, my son, in Salt Lake. I'm going to go there on a Wednesday, and then Friday late in the day, like dinner time or so, I will make the journey, the puddle jump, if you will, to Vegas. So I'll be there Friday night and Saturday night.
Okay. So lounge. So we will do a lounge. We will do a lounge.
Yes.
So we did a lounge on location at your place. Can you believe it? We have a body of work now. We have enough episodes of this where we can say we even did one in there, like referring it to as one of the ones we've done. Because there was a time when it was our second show, and we're like, are we really going to do this?
And you and Tracy were here, and we had Tracy do the announcing live. It was truly a concert special.
Right, and so same thing here. Well, we can maybe even set her up in the booth over here so she can be the and I can set up the little camera so we can see her in the corner live. She can be like our Robin. Isn't that Robin? Howard Stern? Isn't that her name?
Oh, yes, Robin Quivers.
I couldn't come up with it. But yeah, we could put her in the corner, and she's just there the whole time, and she can comment, and you know.
You're going to put her in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah. I guess
it was
not.
right there.
Well, I mean, she could. Yeah, so I don't know how we're gonna. I don't know how we'll set it up exactly, but I guess we'll just do that. We'll just do this shot, and you'll sit, and I'll scooch over, and you'll sit next to me, and that's it. We just don't have the split screen or whatever.
Well, that's what we did when we were here, I believe. I just had one camera, and I brought another. Do you have two microphones? Do you have two mic rigs?
Well, the way it works is, I mean, when I'm doing this and Tracy and I sit next to each other, this one mic takes care of it. It reaches all of it. It's just sitting here. And then then of course there is one in the booth. There's 3 microphones in here. There's the there's the Shure SM7B, which was your recommendation, changed my life. And I got 2 of these Yetis, one over there, one over here. So plenty of microphones.
I have that effect on people. I'm a life changer, Bob. I didn't at all. You had to do some voice work. You were here and you said, "Can I use your room?" And you went, "That's a pretty nice mic. What kind of mic is that?"
Well, because I'd been asking you about mics for like 2 years or more, right? I mean, I said like, I want to upgrade. What do you suggest? And you would give me these suggestions, $800 here, whatever. I don't even remember what this was, but it wasn't that.
I think it's around 5 or so,
maybe
3,
so.
5. I don't know. Not super expensive.
It's
all relative, right? To the average Joe. What are you?
We've got Lynn in the house. Lynn is watching. So we've got Lynn, Jim Sly, Mark Howard, Sammy, and the Hamaga. So we've got a group.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you go away for a week. They say they take it for granted that the lounge is always open every Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. But no. See, you go away 1 week and look at the house is packed. The beer sales alone are going to pay for this shirt.
Oh my God, what is it? $12 or 13? What's our special price? The early bird matinee, whatever.
You know what
And Tracy's mom is watching too. And somebody was Facebook user before, and I don't know who that was because it's not. It couldn't be Tracy because she's on a plane.
Is she already in the air?
Well, she was getting ready to board when I talked to her quite a while back.
About a 4 hour? Is that 4 hours? 5 hours?
6.
Oh,
just under 5. It'll say like 5 hours, 45 minutes or something like that. It's you're going against the winds.
Yeah, you are. You're flying west. 6 hours. Like when I come out, it's going to be 4. I know it's 4 hours from Atlanta to Salt Lake, and again from Vegas to Atlanta is 4 hours.
It's how much from Salt Lake? That's nothing, right?
4.
To Vegas?
Oh no! I said from Atlanta to Salt Lake is 4, and from Vegas to Atlanta is 4, and the puddle jump is about an hour.
Okay, right.
But I lose I pick up an hour because I go west time zone wise anyway, because Salt Lake's in Mountain Time.
We've been, and this is not, we've been flying Spirit on these trips.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it has not been as bad as I thought it would be. And I think I had one when I first flew them. I did have like that your typical, like this is whatever. It drove me crazy. But all things considered, it wasn't that much different than flying like a Southwest. I mean, once you pay for everything, and you got to pay for water or whatever. But the seats are just as uncomfortable.
There it is.
It just like my plane trips are, you just never know. It's like sometimes I sit down and I can be comfortable for a couple hours, and then the back thing starts. It's always my back. After a while, it starts to, and my legs, I can't because I got long legs and the seats are right there and there's just not enough room. But like on this trip back, and it was the long leg. So, and my back hurt before I even sat down. And so the whole trip was just, and then the girl next to me had, because, you're not buying anything on that plane to eat. So she had brought her, her own food, which is always tricky.
Smoked sausage? Did she bring smoked sausage?
That would have been amazing, but
pork
no,
rinds?
It was more like a Greek salad with a hard-boiled egg in there,
and the feta cheese that smelled good.
So
feta cheese and a hard-boiled egg.
Well, feta could have been it, but it's that whole Greek salad smell, and you got your olives, and you get and then a hard-boiled egg, and I'm like, and it's just there's no escape.
No. No, you're stuck with the feta oil dressing, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it was not that bad. But it's just like the comfort thing. That's really it. It's just I think that's you want to get on that plane so bad. You want to get on that plane so bad to come home, and then you get on that plane and say, I want to get off this plane so bad.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm a really small person. I just know that I'm not, and I'm uncomfortable in those seats. And then I'll talk to people who are twice myself, just big men, and I go, how can you possibly enjoy air travel?
And then what do they say?
The seats smaller over the years. They go, it sucks.
And then what do you say?
Yeah, it sure is.
And with those words, Rob Scott and Bob Doyle brought the Lounge Show to another inauspicious close. Join us next week, won't you? 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of The Lounge Show.
You've been watching The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends and family to do the same. After all, we'd do it for you if you had a show. Probably.